Hello again, folks. Sorry about that. We are back now in 720p. I hope that's sufficient. .360p was really not going to cut it, so I apologize for that. I'll probably leave that first VOD up anyway, if it's at all legible. I don't know. I'll take a look later. But there we go. Readable at full screen. Brutal. I should increase my font maybe. Yeah, because I'm in 1080p. I wonder if I should try. I just figured 1080p might make it choke with the graphics or lack thereof that I have on this machine. View, syntax. Is there not a font size adjustment in this editor? Hey, thanks 123. My favorite musician? That's hard to say. Oh, got so many across different genres. But lately I like the playing of Corey Henry, the organ player. Frederick Thorndahl, the guitarist from Meshuggah, is awesome. Very different vibe. There's so many good musicians now. Those two just popped into mind. I really like Julian Lage, the guitarist. One of the guitarists I actually I really enjoy listening to nowadays. Alan Holdsworth, rest in peace. This is terrible though. I can't find a font increase on this. Let's see. Ah, okay. It's somewhere in the Sublime settings. Oh, here we go. Larger. Sublime text settings. So Command plus will make it larger. There. That should help. Command plus. Oh, it's got a low bit rate as well. Sorry about all the technical stuff. I'm clearly a streaming noob. Okay. Upgraded the bit rate. Zoomed in on the code. This should be better now. Okay, where were we? Right, we defined a duration for each pass. So we're going to want a line. Par for the course. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, I won't be fumbling like this again. But is that good at 720p? Or do you think we need 1080p? Like 720 with it a bit zoomed in? Is legible, I hope. Okay, we're going to draw a cursor that starts at the far left and pans over to the far right, all while heating those margins that we defined in the proto. So the cursor will be, let's make this a method. And again, within this class, there's not much use of declaring things public and whatnot, because it's sort of a top-level processing class. So let's see, based on the frame, let's just start by getting a cursor that loops from the left and goes over to the far right. So we're going to want to draw a line. Let me pull up the processing reference. And actually we need to set stroke to cursor color. So in my parameter object, my params file, this, I'm gonna need to do a similar thing with cursor color. Cursor color. And then get cursor color, that's the generated proto method. Then here I'll set cursor color. I think red is a good start. So full red, no green, no blue. Params dot cursor color dot red, green, blue. This is not on GitHub yet. This project. It's a bit sloppy. I might. Well, it is actually on GitHub, but it's still private at the moment. Maybe I'll make it available at some point. So our line will go from whatever the x coordinate is. We'll calculate that. The y coordinates will always be fixed on the cursor because it's not going to change height. So I can store those in variables. Proto dot. Actually, let's get the margins here. I'll use the var, the newer var thing in Java, which is handy sometimes, like right now, where I go proto.get margins, and then so this will be margins dot top. And then y2 will be that'll be our width. But that, yeah, right, I need to scale everything again for the stream. That's too bad. Oh well. This will be proto.get height minus margins.get bottom. So let's do line x1, y1 to x2, y2. That's the points our line is going from and to. 720p looks good. Okay, great. Oh, like lowering the display resolution down to 720, and then there would be no weird like interpolations, which I'm assuming is maybe happening. Oh, I can do that in software, can I? Let's see. I'll just leave it at 720 for now. Thanks, Ricky, though. I appreciate it. X1 and X2. So X1 is gonna be this'll have to be, oh, X2 is the same as X1 because the X is just gonna be a vertical line. So I'll just invoke this with X. Now this is going to be some linear interpolation. Bogo Short sheds Donnelly. That's awesome. No, you're not distracting me. That's great. I love that. I love that it's like usable as focus music. Okay, processing has this lerp method for linear interpolation where you give it 2 points. So in this case, it's going to be margins. Oh, and this is going to have to be get top and get bottom. Margins.get left is the start, and then the end will be our width minus the right margin. And then we're going to interpolate that. So you pass this method a number between 0 and 1 showing how far along between this value and this value you want to interpolate linearly. So it's going to be, maybe I should change the pass to a number of frames. That might be easier. Because then I can just go mod number of frames. So frame count is this is a variable from the parent class that this is all from papplet, which is the processing, sort of the base processing class that you can extend. So I'm gonna change that parameter. Instead of seconds for now, I'll just say int 32 pass duration frames. And while I'm here, I'll parameterize the frame rate as well, which I'll quickly code up here in setup. I have to invoke frame rate, proto.get frame rate. Okay. Scale. So here This was get pass duration frames. So this should just be a cursor looping along, depending on the number of frames we set. Pass duration frames, let's say 60 frames, and we can set up our margins while we're here. Left, right, top, bottom. Let's just go with 200 on the left and right, and 100 on the top and bottom. And yes, I still need to call the scale on all of these. So this is my little hack for scaling everything down while developing. I have this scale factor that I set in my configuration, in my proto that I defined. And when I want to fully scale it up, I'll just set that value to 1. Right now it's at 1/4, so it's going to render in a little box here. Maybe I can increase the terminal font size some more. Okay, Command plus is pretty standard as the zoom on Mac. That looks okay. So let's see what happens. And this exception is just noise from the framework. Something within the processing library always gives this null pointer exception, but it runs just fine. Takes a minute. Ah, I set frame rate to 0. That's what's going on. Inadvertently. By not passing a value, the default for a proto integer is 0. So let's set that frame rate to 30 and rerun it. The great thing about parameterizing like this is that you don't need to recompile when you want to change the parameters. Just restart it and you're passing a text file. Oh, and you can't see this. I need to add that. Settings. More OBS troubles. Oh, can I not edit the scene? Wow. No, I can edit the scene. It's just something funky's going on. What is this? Really? Okay, Gonna have to restart the stream again. Maybe this one. No, I can. There was still some stuff that transpired, but yeah, I need to restart OBS, unfortunately. Be right back again.